In traveling across Watauga County, one of the greatest stories that we've uncovered is the story of Junaluska. Located just above Boone, below Howard's Knob, this is the second oldest African American community in western North Carolina. And even though it's so old, very little of its story's been told. In interviewing many of the folks that still live there, we uncovered a treasure trove of stories that emphasize our similarities rather than our differences. One fascinating set of stories that we listened to centered around the tradition of hunting that's been popular among many of the Junaluska men over the years. Perhaps the most famous black hunter the county's ever known was a fellow by the name of Boone Coffee.
He was one of the greatest black hunters, I guess, ever been in Watauga County and the other counties. He trapped, he hunted bear and everything way back, because they sold fur back in for a living, and eat most of the meat they could eat, Boone Coffee, lived up, I don't know if y'all know where A-holes or not, but up in there. He used to own about all that land up in there. They owned acres of him and two sisters owned about all A-hole at one time. And I'd love to meet him. I seen him, they had some article in the papers years ago, and I was young, stupid. I should have got one in paper and kept it, They had, all the reading and stuff about him, And he was a great hunter, Boone Coffee was, yeah.
I love to hunt. I was one of the best hunters like y'all doing, like people would come from Tennessee, Virginia, all these the Buick dealers, and all they'd get the Buick dealers here in Boone, and a lot of them love bird hunting, grouse hunting, and they'd come up here to get me to go. I wasn't bragging, but I'm not bragging, but I was one of the best. If you're the best, you're one of the best. They wanted to bring a bunch of hunters over here and me to go hunting with them. I said, bring them on. So we went down on Mac Brown's farm, and brother, they were plenty grouse down there then. I would kill it. I'd say, you go. I'd tell these other guys, I said, you get in front of me, y'all I'm give y'all the first shots. So they stayed there in front, they kept shooting, they wasn't killing nothing. And I said to one of them guys, I said, if y'all want me to kill your bird or two, you better let me do a little shooting. Because it's getting up in the evening, and you're not supposed to kill but two. I'd kill 5, 6, and 7 before you could turn around again. And we got back in, one of these guys said, we won't be back over here no more. And Mac Brown said, why? I said, I thought they called me Strawberry. That was my name. They called me that. He said, he killed everything, got up, and one of his buddies said, well, if we weren't in the birds, we had to let him. Said, because we sure God wouldn't kill it now. And the name Strawberry, one time I had a few drinks, and we were talking to some patrolmen somewhere, and they all were telling how big strawberries grow. I said, well, buddy, where I'm from, strawberries grow big as a football. And from that day on, them patrolmen, and I knew everybody in the country, got calling me Strawberry. And I heard that to the day. You call me by the name, people wouldn't know who you're talking about.
With the older men, what few we had here was fox hunters, rabbit hunters, and wasn't many coon hunters at early age. Me and Sam Jr., Davis' brother, I guess first two really got in, black guys got in coon hunting real heavy. And then we hunted, other guys all over the country. But back with Ronald Horton preacher and all them, they fox hunters, mainly fox hunters, and rabbit hunted some in their time, But me and Sam, I guess, was two first black guys I know have had coon dogs up here. Outstanding dog I had, I call him Old Jack. He was a tree dog, not hunting dog, coon dog. I've had, just call him Old Jack. I give $10 for him. $10. This boy had him, and I seen him run a rabbit one day. I was fishing over there. I was just an old dog. He wasn't thoroughbred of no kind, just what we call field run, field run. I don't know if y'all know what that means or not. And I told him, I said, I'll give you $10 for that dog. And he run a rabbit. And he said, he was underage. He said, yeah, I'll let you have it 10. I said, well, I got to see your dad. I know his dad. He was Dotson. I went and talked to his dad. I said, I want to buy that dog off Larry. And he said, sell him. It'd be all right by him. He said, anything y'all want to do, you do it. I handed him $10 and brought him home. Started hunting. I had one of the best coon dogs I've ever owned. I've had a bunch of them, registered, blue tick, plots, and whatever. But he was the outstandingest dog I ever had. I'll tell you what I could do. I could take him and hunt rabbits all day with him, with my beagles, He'd get out there and hunt and jump rabbits and run all day. About 5 o'clock in the evening come, I guarantee that he can be looking at a rabbit and he'll quit. He quit right there. He through with it. Okay, night come, you get your lantern, you go to the wood, and he'd hunt coons all night. Now, he wouldn't run a rabbit. After 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, it's all over. Now I'm serious. I've never had a dog like that in my life. I mean, you can hunt rabbit, coon at night, and a rabbit could jump up. I've seen rabbits and stuff jump up on night in front. He wasn't studying that. He was coon hunting that night. You know what I mean? Now, he was the greatest dog I ever had, and a lot of other guys didn't have nothing to come up with him, I'll tell you what I started to do. Right over here on Preacher Horton's hill. You know where Peggy lives, huh? That hill right over there. I was up there one evening about 4:35. In wintertime, it started getting dark, shady. And man, my beagle, I had about 7, 8, and he was running with him. And once he quit, I seen the rabbit where he went through. He just quit, come back. I said to myself, back then I was young and a little crazy. Not crazy, but whatever. And I said, "Oh, I'll shoot you, boy." I said, "Them dogs run rabbit here, you quit." And I just talked to him. I said, "I'll shoot you." And I learned then of Enid, after a certain time, he was through with rabbits. Take him on night. Me and my brother go coon hunting that night. Catch coon with him. He was all around dog. Let's put it that way. Me and Sam used to dig out groundhogs with him. He was a good groundhog dog, if you know what, all kinds of stuff like that. He was, combination. Anything you want to put him at, he'd do it and do it right.
Chase.
Just thrill of chase. No, you don't want to kill your game. Once in a while in the winter or fall, after they open the season on them, we kill 1 or 2 for our young dogs, just maybe one. Just, shoot them so they could, work with them a little bit and know what's going on. But we didn't shoot them, nope. If you kill everything else, what are you going to have to run? A tree. You don't eat them. Some people eat them, but I don't want no coon to eat. I just want to hear him dog strike him, run him, sit down at that tree and tree him, what we call treeing,